Yamaha are a huge name in the keyboard and the synth world. From their pianos to their DX synths and their all-encompassing Montage keyboards, and so much more. Oh, and by the way, MODX is apparently how you're supposed to pronounce it. It's a combination of a Montage and the DX, so MODX kind of makes sense. The original MODX was lauded for its quality of sounds, its portability, its lightweight, and its price. This made it so much more accessible to a wider range of people than things like the Montage. They became the ultimate lightweight gigging machines for live or in the studio. They've got hundreds of sounds on board, and they aren't really that far away from the Montage in terms of the quality, and especially without the price tag. Well, today they've just announced the brand new MODX Plus range. It's a series of machines that builds on the already successful MODX range with a series of upgrades that bring it even closer to that of the Montage. Yamaha were kind enough to send us down a pre-launch sample of this new MODX Plus alongside the hugely successful touring keys player and Yamaha endorsee Luke Juby. He came and gave us a demonstration and had a little chat to us about the range in detail.
Okay, so the MODX is and was like one of Yamaha's. It's kind of like almost their flagship. Like the Montage is their big flagship model, and the MODX took a lot of what the Montage offered and put it in a new box and made it slightly more affordable to most people by sort of taking away a few buttons and a tiny little bit of polyphony and a few bits like that. But what we've got now is the MODX Plus. The difference that's come in now with this MODX Plus, you know, what is the Plus as such, is you've got double the polyphony of the FMX engine. So all those FM sounds, the pads, the electric 80s sort of pianos and stuff, that's all now doubled from 64 note to 128, which is big. And you think you can't play 128 notes, but what you can do is you can keep layering. So you can have, if you can hold like down 6 or 7 notes, then you can add another FMX of all these different sounds and have these beautiful, large, lush layers of different sounds with that. There's also just a few subtle changes, like we've got the Montage wheels now over there, so inside both MODX and Montage, you've got some RAM, some sort of flash RAM that you can store your own samples in, whether it be your favourite string sample or if you're in a band, your intro of your song, or certain hits that you've created and you just can't do it, or even vocals or whatever it might be. And that's gone in the Plus from 1 GB to 1.75. So now you've just got tons of flash RAM to store stuff. So every time you turn it on, it's still there, and you could assign its keys, you could assign it across the whole thing, you can add reverbs to all those sort of things and do stuff like that. So it's quite cool. And that actually then also gives you the ability to seamless sound switch. So here, for example, I've got a whirly here, and I can choose another one, and I've switched without having to lose the other one. Otherwise, you might get something like this where it goes and stops. So it gives you that ability. And with the MODX Plus now, we've got even more. The MODX has got that, but this has doubled the amount of sort of sounds that you can have and still switch because of that polyphony and because of that extra power, I guess. So yeah, what we've got in the range is the MODX 8 Plus, which is, as you can see here, which is the sort of like the piano weighted, and obviously 88 notes. And then you've got the 6 and the 7. So the 6 I've actually got here, which is the 63 note, and as you can see, it's light, which I think is 7 kilos, which is really great. It comes with, well, you can get a gig bag with little straps, and so you can carry it like as a rucksack, which is pretty cool. And then there's the 7, which is the 76 note. And both of those ones are this sort of semi-weighted, not quite as heavy as like almost the piano action on this. Yeah, and they're the 3. But the good thing is, in the past, sometimes the smaller keyboards would have less power, and this would be but they're all exactly the same, except for the fact that the key bed and the size, basically. So you get to choose if you're going to be just a synth player, grab the 6. If you're going to be if piano is your main thing, you're going to need the 88 note, and you get to choose really, or bang in the middle, choose the 76. So how far away from the Montage is this? The Montage is the flagship. It's kind of like the BMW M8 of their thing. It's like everything about it is, I think it's aluminium built, but it does weigh significantly more than this one. And there are some subtle differences, like there's some aftertouch on the Montage. There's a slightly different key bed. But now what they've done with the Plus is they've basically taken the engine out and stuck it in here. So rather than the BMW M8, you've got a 3 Series with all the power of the big boy. There's a few subtle differences as well. I think there's 10 out in the sound card in here, and I think the Montage has more. But do you need more than 10 outs? I don't know. I've not used more than 10 for a long time. And so the Montage has more buttons, but you can get round, for example, there's a lot of buttons over here on the Montage, but all those sort of things can also be found by using other buttons that have appeared on here to sort of get around this. Like, for example, the Montage has twice as many of these sliders, but we do have 8. It's just that we have to press this, and then we've got 1 to 4, 5 to 8, and the same here. We can actually, so if I press this, now we've got another 4 of the dials. So it's just ways of being able to get the cost down, and they're the sort of the easiest way to do that.
I've always been a huge fan of the MODXs. Back from my roots at GAC working in the piano shop, I was always very impressed by the sound of them, particularly compared to some of the more expensive keyboards in that similar industry. Things from Roland and from Korg, stuff like the Kronos and the FA range. They're super easy to plug in and get a sound out of, which when I was very new to the keyboard range, as I was back in that day, it was super helpful and super easy for me to start learning on straight away.
The good thing about these sort of keyboards, the MODX Plus, is everything you could ever need is in it. If you wanted a glockenspiel, I've never looked, and I hope there's one now. But if I put in Glock, so we've only got the 5 different Glocks. So the great thing about that is that you can know that there will be the sound in here, and so that's basically the keyboard that can do everything. If you want to do dance music, you can get it side chaining really well. If you want to do beautiful piano lush stuff, it's got more pianos than I've ever counted on here. As a keys player, my favourite feature about the MODX Plus is that I can take it somewhere and it will do everything. I had the first time I used one on a job, I was turning up and I was like the step-in, the new keys player on a gig. It was a random boy band in Germany. I think I was chatting to you earlier about being one of the most weird but also one of the most fun gigs I've ever done. And I turned up with the MODX Plus, with the MODX actually, because the MODX Plus hadn't come out. And because I didn't know much about the gig, but I knew it could do everything I wanted it to do. I knew that if they wanted the pianos, it would be there. If I had to cover a sample, which I did, I could just load it in and it'd always be there. So it's the ability to control everything I want. So for example, I could put something on the super knob and I could tell it whatever I want it to do. The sort of, the ability to just have hands-on control as you're playing and know what it'll be. It does take some programming, it's on that level. You can just sit down and play it, but if you want something definitely to happen at a certain point in a song, you've got different scenes that you can choose. So there could be your volumes, you've got all the ability of the super knob, another 8 assignable dials here. Yeah, it's just, the MODX Plus, it's the MODX Plus.
So that was the MODX Plus range. It's very much a case of don't fix what isn't broke with the MODX Plus range. The changes that they made only serve to build on the success and the things they've already got right with the original MODX. Everything they've done only serves to further enhance the experience you'll already have when playing these keyboards. What do you guys think though? Have you ever owned or played one of the original MODXs? What's your favourite song that features a really cool keys or synth line? Let us know down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to see more things like this, and we will see you very soon.